how are we doing? I'm really sorry that we had a few delays. We have no cameras right now either. Hopefully you guys can hear us. Can you hear us? Let us know in the chat. All right, we'll just let a few folks move over from Twitch. We had some last minute complications with getting live on Twitch, and we really don't want to miss the stream today with you guys. So you could really help us out by spreading the word to everybody that we're going to be live on YouTube today for the first time with me and Pain God and Tangzaz in the background over Twitch. So let everybody know, and we'll get kicked off really soon with the juicy quality of life improvements. All right. How are we doing, Pain God, after that crazy 20 minutes?
I was about to curl up on the dog bed and go to sleep. I had a big burrito for lunch just before this, and I was like, that's not a good idea.
Nap time.
Yeah, nap time. No, doing good. It's been a good week. The release went well, went smooth. There wasn't any technical issues, no crashes or serious bugs. So you can't ask for more in game development than having a week that went as smoothly as this did. And, I'm sure the players enjoyed it as well.
They did. So it seems like this update was really well received by players based on the feedback that I've been able to see, and the messages that I've got, both for with G.I. Joe being relevant to World of Tanks, Modern Armor, but also as we are here today to talk about, players love improvements. Especially some of our longer term players, they love seeing things return to the game after a while, or being updated or improved, and that's something that we've really seen a lot of feedback on for a long time now, and we've as a team got together and wanted to do this quality of life stream for you guys to start talking about some of the improvements that are coming in the future, and also the not so distant future.
Yeah, every week in the stream, you think it was only 8 weeks ago that we released Modern Armor, and there was a whole host of things in there too. And we fix in between versions what we can, but as I've been saying, as we start working on new stuff, the branches get far enough apart that we can't just keep patching fixes easily. So the fixes, and improvements, they slow to a trickle, but they're all building up for the next release. And I hope everybody really saw that with this one, because man, that list was longer than my arm of things that fixed and improved in the game. But I've mentioned this in the last 2 weeks, wanting to get together, like a list of the fixes that we've done, what we're doing this week, what we're doing in the near future. So that's what this is all about. I do want to point out, though, really quickly, that Snake Plissken pulled ahead of Rambo. He's ahead by 20, all of 20. But he pulled ahead. They're not touching Braddock yet, because Braddock's been out for a much longer period of time. But
yeah,
Plissken, my favorite, pulled ahead.
Braddock wouldn't allow that anyway, would he? All right.
Any of you, but how you finding missiles? Been out dodging them in the game?
I got to play missiles on the stream on Monday. It was a lot of fun. I'm just hearing back from the players that they're enjoying all of the new content that we've been able to give them, missiles included. So I'm glad about that. I was a little nervous. I will admit I was a little nervous, but it seems to have gone well.
Yeah, I've mentioned before, I like playing as either a scout or a sniper, and man, those missiles are ticking me off, because they spot you from far away with true vision. They can pilot one all the way to you, and if I'm zoomed in, I don't have any such awareness. I don't see that death is coming across the sky at me. So I'm like, okay, we need an anti-missile system or a missile warning system or something, because I'll be right into the zone, and all of a sudden, bam! But it's cool. It's cool seeing people get used to them and get good with them. So, but yeah, everybody, players responded really, really well to all the quality of life improvements in this last release. And, we're all really happy to see that. There was tons of them, but just like the real highlights were, the all new commander menu and options, right? That's been a big improvement in filters.
Absolutely, yeah.
Signing your tank. Bringing back the efficiency tab and adding more details and stats from the performance tab, which is going to continue. Look like players really, really loved the 4 maps that we returned, and then, well, how do you say it? Halafa Pass.
Halfaya Pass.
Halfaya. That's in custom match only right now while we get feedback from players and continue to work on the map, but it's there for you to check out. I really love the new version of that map. Additional filters for the tanks and the commanders, putting the tanker reward status in your profile in the game, so you don't have to go to the website to look and see where you're at. Added more detailed stats. And I think we got those final fixes for the machines that were still overheating and had performance issues on the older consoles, on the original ones. So happy to get that out.
Just seeing a few. Oh my god, my hay fever's been crazy the last few days. Just seeing in the chat as well, a few people talking about NBA, and I think that's the next point that we've got here. We saw that NBA came out. We got feedback on it within a couple of days, and within 2 days we were able to act on that feedback. So are you able to talk a little bit about kind of from your guys' point of view what happened with the NBA adjustments?
Well, it went out, so and people are immediately like, the matches aren't long enough for what you have to do. Which was a quick change. So I think we got that change out. We extended the match time from 7 to 15 minutes. I've seen some requests for extending the capture time now. So we're monitoring that. That's an easy fix to do. But want to see some more matches played with a longer timer to see if that kind of solves the issue. Happy to make those fixes. Other fixes we got in the last 2 days. The mega map sort order got messed up. We got that fixed out. People got confused because the marks of excellent progress in the tank stats, in the garage, it just had a decimal point error, moved over 2 places, but that's fixed, and now you have the marks of excellent tracker in the PBRS as well now, which people have been asking for. We fixed the auto loader clip displaying remaining shots. We had the complaints from some people that the G.I. Joe and Cobra BOs, which they loved, were kind of inconsistent in volume and some were staticky. We got those cleaned up and normalized and got that out. Fixed a bug in the hits received number in the performance tab. And a bunch of other little fixes. I didn't want to go read everything line by line here. But yeah, quick immediate fixes in the 2 days, following. Tuesday, there's some more fixes coming. Monday's a holiday. Right now, executing preview on a vehicle in the tech tree that you don't own returns you back to the USA tree instead of where you're at, so it gets really confusing. Got that fixed. We corrected the M60 and M60A1 stock on heat shells. They were doing more damage than the regular standard shells, which they weren't supposed to, so that's fixed. The whole patch progress will actually display on your health bar, so you know how much it's gonna heal over the time. We added rear flames and smoke to missiles to make them easier to spot when they're incoming. There was fire and smoke on them, but it was only really noticeable to the person that fired them. So we increased the effect so you can see them as they're coming towards you.
Coming at you, yeah.
More readable. And there's a fix for a bug with cross-cluster platoon invites not working correctly. They should work fine now. That's if you're one player is playing on the North American server and another player is playing on the European server, and they invite each other. That handling has always been really, really tricky to do because it's got to restart you in order to log you into the new cluster, and that kind of stuff. So that's fixed too.
Okay, thank you. So those the last few things we just mentioned there, just for you guys just joining us, they're things that we'll most likely see on Tuesday. So the Bisante C45 with the Priska skin, it's called. That's the one behind Pain God as he disappears. I like it. It's very kind of Roman Legion-esque. Cool. I believe we only just got that today, right? It came in quite last minute.
That came in a little hot, which isn't typical. Tanks are usually something got messed up. And I was told on Wednesday it wasn't going to make it. And I went, then work overtime. We already have plans for it. You don't tell me Wednesday something's not going to show up on Tuesday. So they did it. They buckled down. They got it done.
Good stuff. Congratulations to the team and thank you as well. I won't be here next week, so I wouldn't have had to deal with the players going, "Where's my Bisante?" But we don't have to worry about that now because
you were saying it gives you a Warhammer vibe.
It does give me a massive Warhammer vibe. Yeah, it gives me a kind of chaos kind of vibe, especially if you look at it like with the spiky bits and the axes and stuff. I would love to see a Warhammer season, not gonna lie.
Did you say you're out next week?
I am going on my first extended vacation. So I'm going to be going on a road trip. I'm going to be doing a bit of horseback riding, which is hilarious because I have never rode a horse as an adult. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I am a good sport, so I'll give it a go.
You do some karaoke while you're out there too?
I might have a little sing-along as, to calm me down as I'm terrified and, in 100+ degrees Fahrenheit weather as well. So
you can start a whole new trend, campfire karaoke. You stream live streams.
I've neglected playing guitar recently, so I need to get that back out and start learning to play again.
Okay, this is about quality of life, not our lives.
So we got some juicy stuff next.
Yeah, it doesn't end there. Next week we'll be posting a quality of life page. I don't know if that'll be the name of it or not, right? Mm-hmm. But it's going to show none of the things that we've fixed in the past, so there's a record in history that people can refer to. But what we're working on next, so things like World War II tank balance, getting the critical hit number, updating the PBRS for all the opposing tanks, right? Getting a tank comparability and detailed stats. Adding back the ability to select a tank while you're a spectator. That was being used to hide tank choice in competitive play, and we weren't all aware of that. So when there was a bug that came with it, they went, "Oh, the best way to fix it is don't let you select a tank." And then we heard, "Hey, wait a minute, that's how we hide our tank selection." I'm like, okay, we gotta fix that. So
that was a funny one actually, because we all saw it come in, and then immediately like all the competitive players were like, "No, we love that. We use it for like fog of war." So the things we learn from the community.
We didn't know. Yeah, the engineer that has to fix it immediately looked back in the tickets like, well, this sounds like unintended feature, and we just really should implement it correctly. Like, well, that's great for the future, but we need to fix it now because it was working, and they need, people are using it. So so when I say next, like this list, when you see the next section that's what we're working on right now to get out as soon as possible, right?
Yeah.
And then there'll be a section like what's next in the queue. What are we going to work on next after these? And those are things like a better display. So this will be like more like weeks away, not lots of weeks, but not days away, which the other ones are. A better display for a missile capacity and reload rates. Some of the detailed stats we found weren't updating for crew skills and equipment. Most of them do, but some are missing that. Get that fixed. A better bot spread on maps. There's always some maps, especially any map on the bridge, right? It's death for bots. They all cluster around. Like, no, you first. No, you first. No, you first. Oh, you're too kind. And it's like, Okay.
polite bots.
Yeah, polite bots.
So with that, do we think that we'll see bots kind of spread out more on the map? Is that how that translates?
Yeah, I mean, some apps are really problematic, so that's what we're working on, is to get them like, do not all go this way, right? Because the choke point. So, and hopefully it'll make the battles more fun and challenging. I mean, you see that they work the best in like the really big open maps, like, where they don't have things like, narrow choke points or bridges and stuff to go over. But working on that. And then we're going to do a test, I think, at our first pass at matchmaking, more balanced. Now we've mentioned that our ideal is to match by class, right? By class and the by tier, but at the very least class, so you don't end up with like 7 heavies on one and 7 TDs, on the other side. So we're gonna have a first pass of that. It's not gonna be perfect, but right now it will keep exactly that scenario from happening. We're running the simulations right now, being discussed. We'll pick a time and let everybody know, hey, we're going to test this, and let us know how it works for you. So we're continuing to work on matchmaking all the time, and this is the next step.
Yeah, matchmaking something that is since day one I've seen feedback from you guys talking about. So this is a big thing, really, that I know that you guys will be looking forward to, just to hear that we've heard you with your feedback on the matchmaker. So hopefully, this first kind of attempt at getting it to be more balanced by class, so we don't see any crazy numbers of class in the matchmaker. It sounds like a good idea, so I'm looking forward to the test, and I'm sure you guys I'll look forward to that as well, and hopefully it goes well.
Then there'll also be a section on what we're working on for the next major update, like the one we just had this week. So people know, hey, fixes are coming. These are farther out, which our updates are roughly 8 weeks apart. So that right now, that's things like getting back to the match makes up to tier range for World War II in the garage. Yeah. You say match makes up to this tier. More map spawn adjustments, for balance, especially on the newer maps we introduced. After we had get a couple 100,000 battles, be like, okay, we can look at the heat maps and go, okay, we need to adjust this. The ability to search and filter for commanders across the 2 different modes, because right now the commander filtering works for whatever mode you're in, so those commanders that are in those tanks, but being able to do it across all your commanders. Some new custom game options like enable, disable true vision in either era, auto balance teams, some others. Continuing to work on the PBRS to get all the detail that players want in the detailed stats and efficiency, tab performance, like continuing to add into that. There's some things that have been requested that we've never had in the past, even before, and they're tracked on the server side, and the client doesn't know about it. So that takes a server engineer, a gameplay engineer, and a UI engineer all to work together to get those to come through. But we'll continue adding those. A commander progress bar in the garage, so like behind the commander's name, so you can see their progress on their commander XP and their skills. Tech tree improvements is one of the huge quality of life plans for the next big update. That's we're playing with things right now, and once we get them functionally correct, then design and art will go and make it look good.
So what exactly is the strategy with tech tree improvements? What can players expect if they to try and imagine it themselves? Is it to kind of make it more user friendly to go through, or is it more?
Yeah, it's all usability stuff. We use usability and readability, right? So navigating through the tree much faster and feeling natural. Sometimes there's weird jumps where you're like, I'm going up here, I want to go over one. You're back down at the bottom. Being able to easily get between the different nations, not having the tanks so spaced far apart so you can see more tanks on screen at a time. So like I said, we're playing with a number of things right now to get it to be technically feel better. I'll totally be honest and tell you right now, the Western Alliance tree in our mainline branch, let's put it back to horizontal and see how it works, right? And it's an ugly, terrible mess right now that I wouldn't even show you a screenshot. But like somebody that all the players know that I won't mention their name is like, well, what do you think? No, it's ugly. And the response was, you had me at horizontal, which I thought was really funny.
I think it's a good idea.
The lines go all over the place, and like I said, so we're trying a couple different things, see what is going to be the best, usability wise, right? And then we'll fix all the bugs that come with that. So
excellent.
Whether that be vertical or horizontal, or I don't know, at an angle. I don't know what else we could do to that Portec tree to make it harder to navigate, but we're working on it. It's important.
Like horizontal.
More HUD improvements to view cone, base icons being circular. A lot of the stuff is based off feedback from you guys, and I've been in the list. We can only get to so much, at a time. A whole bunch of replay and spectator mode improvements to the spectator HUD, replay features and usability, and a lot of these are player requests, specifically spectator mode. It was, hey, we need these things fixed right away, and then it was like, we asked, what else do you want? And so we've been working our way through the what you want list too, and of course continuing to upgrade maps. And tons more, but that's when you see the list, when it goes up next week, you'll be like, oh my God, because it's, again, a really long one, just like this last release was.
Yeah.
It's all stuff that's marked for the next release. And let me tell you right now, software development is about as perfect as any human is, right? There is flaws in it. There is optimism that is unfounded. There are surprises. Not everything in the list, it being in a list doesn't guarantee it's going to be there. This is our aim and our goal to get it, whether it's in days or weeks or the next release. But those things are going to change and they're going to shift around, because some things that look really, really hard become easy and we move them up. Some things that look really, really easy, you find out, oh my God, the whole system under the hood has to be rewritten to move this over to here, which is crazy. But those things happen, and then that means then it's not achievable. But at least to give you an idea, and you also can know, like, oh, hey, they are working on this, so I know that this is coming, right?
Yeah, I think it'll give a lot more visibility and transparency for players to be able to see, okay, this is what we want to do, and this is what's on the horizon for us in terms of improvements and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a good thing. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think about it. So it's going to be on the website, so keep an eye out for that next week. If we could just go back really quickly just to a couple of things in what's being worked on for the next major update. Just a little bit more detail on so in custom games, you said that there will be a new option for True Vision in custom games.
Yes.
What does that mean? Will you be able to turn on and off True Vision for things like World War II and things like that?
Yeah, for either World War II or Cold War. So you could turn True Vision off in Cold War or turn it on in World War II matches, in custom matches.
Okay, I think that would be really interesting for clans as a piece of news for clans. Is you're going out there to do your tournaments, and you would like to do your tournament with or without True Vision. If you want it in World War II and you want to do a World War II tournament with True Vision, go ahead, have at it. Or if you would like to do a Cold War True Vision tournament without the True Vision on, you can try that as well. So that's a big one for you guys. I think that you'll like that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch there that we want to do. We have a really long wish list. We also want a hardcore mode
cool.
Option in there that takes away a lot of the helpers and information for people that want to play. Everybody's seen hardcore. Why can't I say that right? In Call of Duty and even back in the days of Halo, right? So and we've been asked for that before, so that's in the list. The ability to mix and match eras
Okay.
And set that by team, right? So if you wanted to say, let's pit 5 World War Tier 10 tanks against, 5 Cold War tanks and just see what happens, or 12 12 World War II tanks against 2 M1A1s, right? So that you can kind of set stuff up like that, right? I know you can play post-war with escalation and detente and World War II. So we want to be able to give those options too. So we want to see what kind of cool tournaments and modes you guys come up with, right? And so it's adding that capability so you can do all these kind of cool, weird experiments, as well as competition.
Just another point on the custom games options, because I know there's a bunch of comp players in the chat right now. The auto balance feature in custom games, are we able to talk a little bit more about what that will be?
Well, in an ideal perfect world, you'll say auto balance and it'll take the tank weights and balance the 2 teams.
Excellent. Cool.
We're experimenting with that. That's work that's in progress right now and experimenting with it. It's proving to be a little bit challenging. But there's an engineer investigating how best to do this right now. Okay. But that's the ideal. So it would, as to the best of its ability, balance shuffle and balance the 2 teams.
Okay. Cool. So we've got a little bit more to go through, and then based on what I see in the chat, I will go back to a few of the things that we talked about and see if we can get a little bit more, go a little deeper on some of the things that we've brought up already. So we've gone through what we're going to look at for the next major release. So the next section.
Yeah, then we'll also have a section on there. I don't know that they're going to be in this order, but there'll be a section in there of like what's currently in the design or discussion phase, like what it's actively being worked on, but I don't have an idea of what date is because we don't have the final solution design. So that's things like a whole new contract system, those additional custom game capabilities. Like I was just talking, like cross era play. Nobody started on that yet because someone's investigating it and working on how does this design, what's the rules and stuff like that. What we call Artillery 2.0, changes to the artillery system. That's heavily in the design and discussion phase right now. And we have to settle on what we're going to do, and then we'll start doing it and making it. So I can't say it'll be the next release or the release after. I don't know where it's going to fall yet because we don't know what the final solution is going to be. And then be able to get time estimates.
Okay. So with Artillery 2.0, where has this came from? Is it kind of in response to kind of seeing what player feedback on Artillery has been, or is it and the next steps for Artillery, or is it a combination of both? With taking into account what the players are saying about Artillery and what we can do next with Artillery.
Well, I mean, Artillery has always been a love-hate thing, right? And we know there's players that love to play Artillery, so we don't want to get rid of it or nerf it beyond any usefulness, which would probably make the people that don't like Artillery happy, right? Because those are good, dedicated players that have been with us for a long period of time. So how can we make Artillery still effective and useful on your team without the things that annoy people, which is basically sitting here in my bush getting ready to shoot at somebody and something comes out of the sky from godlike powers and just destroys me. All right. So do we change all artillery to be more of barrage, like we released the premium artillery that the name's escaping me right now, with the barrage gun, right? And that was really, really popular. Like, well, should all artillery be that? So that's what the discussions we're having right now. Like everybody knows, everybody knows, PCs redid artillery massively a while ago, and now they're in the phase of redoing artillery again. Equalizer, but you just got that laid up story. Let me know. So it's a really tricky thing. So that's what I said. It's heavily in design and discussion right now. I just don't know what the final solution will be.
Okay. Bit of a tricky question. Sorry to throw a tricky question. With things like artillery, and I know that we're very different to PC these days. Do you kind of keep tabs on what PC are doing with some of their solutions, and take it on as feedback as to kind of make a decision as to where we want to go?
Yeah, we definitely look at them. Like we said, they're working on a new system that's in the sandbox right now, and we get to kind of look at things a little bit earlier than that. So yeah, we're in contact with them with what their changes are going to be. We have access to actually the pre-sandbox for lack of a different word description for it. And the designers are all part of that. And yeah, we do look at what they're doing.
Okay, interesting. Just give a shout out to Andre in the chat there. I see you there. Our friends over in Europe. Hope you're all having a good Friday evening. It's very late for you guys. All right.
And then another thing that's in the discussion and design phase right now is getting kind of a clan section of the portal for stats and and what do clan players want to see there, right? Leaderboards, compare function. So that's something that's being worked on right now too.
Yeah, so all of you comp players in the chat, I know there's loads of you. I recognize your names. So we're looking at adding clan statistics to the portal. So while I'm away, hit up my inbox over on Discord. Let me know kind of the things that you'd like to see, things like that. Let me know. Be really good to see kind of where your clan compares to other clans. See who the top clans are. I'm pretty sure I know who they are already, but yeah, we'll see. With that, I just had a quick question. I don't think we touched on it so far. Exterminator asks about ranked battles. I've not seen anything on this list so far. Is there anything we can share with ranked at the moment?
It's in the next section.
It's in the next section. I completely missed it.
Well, I didn't write ranked, right? So, and then finally there'll be a section there that's like what we're investigating or trying to get to next, kind of a wish list of sorts. And that'll be an important one for feedback from you, from y'all. Like, well, this is more important to us than this, right? So things that are on there is, better support for competitive play, be it ranked battle or other, or something that would be even better, right? The World War II specific HUD that's been asked for, like so it'll be a running list of things that we hear. Oh yeah, that would be cool. We should look into that.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll go on that list, and then you'll see they'll work their way up through the other list. Okay, now it's in design discussion. Now it's in the next major version. So you'll see it like that. Like another request: medals or ribbons for commanders. That's one that we're like, hey, we don't have any bandwidth to work on it right now, but we'll put that in the list, and as soon as somebody frees up, something in that wish list category will move in advance. And this quality of life tracker, because I don't have a better word for it right now, it's not gonna be completely exhaustive. Believe me, Lady Obscura, Max Chaos, and myself have spent like days even putting together what you're going to see next week, and keep going. Oh, we missed this. Oh, we forgot this. So it's going to be a living page. It's going to be regularly updated as we add items. When priorities change, you'll see it. When we work things out and finalize design, you'll see it move into, okay, this is in progress. And I also want to add there, like you all know that I don't really feel any need to keep secrets, right? Like I'm always blowing things by my back picture or announcing things I'm not supposed to, because I understand, marketing PR have really, really important jobs. But I think like the people that watch a stream, Mentos, and will be looking at this page, or, that's not going to blow any marketing plans, right? This is, marketing PR does stuff to get new players, to win back lapsed players, right? This is talking to our players that they're already here. They're already at the table. Why don't you buy them a damn drink? right?
We're
Don't
buying
present
you a
them
drink.
strangers. You know, they're
I'd
not gonna
like to
think
do
you're hitting
that.
on them. So
One of these days,
so
I'll have a
I
drink with the
also want on
players.
there being like, hey, here's what you can come to expect, and not exact dates because dates can move and shit, but be able to say like like I've done already, like yeah, maybe the last Tuesday of the month you're going to see Western Alliance lights with missiles. Why can't I've already said it? Why can't it be on a page? Because it's just going to be the same people reading it that are listening to this a little more, right? Because of accessibility.
Yeah.
But also be like questions that we get a lot that I'm happy to answer. It's like, where are wheeled vehicles? Like I can just put it on the page. We are working on wheeled vehicles, right? And we think it's going to be fourth quarter this year. That's the plan. We're working on multi-turret tanks, right? And we're hoping that's third quarter of this year. So why not have it on this list? And why don't we just say, guess what comes after the Western Alliance lights? It's probably the Eastern Alliance lights. It's not like you guys can't figure this out. So why can't I just put it on a page saying, yes, that is August?
Our players are very, very cunning and very smart, and they know how to read between the lines.
Yeah, it's like, when you're in college and, your professor comes into the bar, you just like pretend you don't see each other. Like, we're all in this together. There's no reason for these little secrets. In my opinion, right? I'm going to get in trouble for this. But we're working on it. And I know, Mintos is totally behind that idea. He was a part of this whole quality of life thing and talk about how do we do this and, how do we maintain it? And so I'm excited. I'm really excited to get this page up for you next week. But just keep in mind, it's a living document. We're not going to post it once and then not update it. But it also won't have like specific dates on things because, like I said, software development isn't super predictable. It's kind of like playing darts until you get closer. Like tanks and maps are a lot easier because that's a known process. I know exactly how many artists I have and how long it takes to do something. So we can. That's why I said it's really rare a tank was running behind because they're a great team. It's like, here's a list of tanks, and they go, we'll have them done by here, and I'm like, okay, and they're done. The same thing with maps. Software, the development of the code and the UI code and the interaction with the server code. Right there. There's 4 different languages, programming languages that are used. Right, and it's millions and millions of lines of code after all these years. So that's hard to be, to predict an exact date. But I can always tell you, few days, few weeks, next update, this month or this quarter.
Brilliant. I feel like personally as well, it's you guys brought me in. You picked me because I don't know, I'm friendly and I'm out there, and I don't know. I feel what the players feel, and so we've all wanted as a team to go and be more transparent, and I feel like this is the next big step in that, to be able to, as a player who loves the game, to be interested in what's coming, to be able to go onto the website and have a look at some of the ideas that you've been interested in, to be able to see that they've been acknowledged and that they're on this kind of wish list, quality of life thing on the website, and you'll be able to see. You won't be able to see exactly when it comes because we wouldn't be able to do that. So in doing this, we're trying to kind of meet halfway and just get it out there that we know this is what you guys would like to see, and this is kind of whereabouts it is in the list of being complete. And then when it gets to a point where we're able to see stuff and experience it, then we'll show you on these streams, and then it'll get released. So it's gonna be good.
So I'm supposed to reiterate because it might have got missed in all that I said. The World War II tank rebalancing it is underway, and you'll see Super Test. I think Super Test next week, seeing the first 4 tanks that we're going to tackle.
Yes.
Just to get feedback, and we're going to do that a regular cadence. And I'm not going to. I'll tell you, the goal is every 2 weeks. I can't promise it'll always be exactly every 2 weeks because different priorities come up and go. Sometimes it takes a lot of debate Sometimes we'll go, okay, this is what we want. We'll run it past super test, and they'll disagree, and then we have to have some more conversations about it. So it's planned to be very regular, multiple times a month, but I just can't say, I can't promise it'll be every every other Tuesday you'll have tank balance changes checked in, because it's a process we have to go through, and people are involved. So again, it's not super predictable.
I just saw somebody in the chat guess about what tank is going to be buffed. Oh, I said buff. I should have said balance.
Balanced. What did they pick? The IS4 or mouse?
Somebody guessed the mouse.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're starting with the tier 10 tanks. I don't think I said that. So we're looking at tier 10 tanks first, and then we'll work our way through the lines.
Excellent. Excellent stuff. All right. So
someone's asking about Merc tanks. I think the next one up for an Urnop is the Plaguebringer.
Okay.
Tank. I don't remember the date for that. Maybe Obscura will sneak it to me.
The legend Lady Obscura.
It's a next week or two.
Cool. Oh my word. So let me just quickly run through a bunch of this stuff here. And I'm sorry that we had to switch over from Twitch to come over to YouTube. We were having some weird bug. We were going live and it wouldn't unhost Chief Dre. He was one of our CCs. So we tried to unhost. It wouldn't let us unhost. So we had to go into Twitch, into the video producer, physically unhosted Chief Dre. Tried to go live again, didn't work. So I tried to go live, didn't work. And so we're like, what do we do? Let's restart. So we restarted, let's try again. Didn't work for TankZars. And so TankZars, with the big brain energy, just thought, let's just get out there on YouTube. So that's why we're here. To recap, for any of you guys joining late, I'll try and get a recap together for this, but I am aware that there is an actual article coming on this next week, so they may not be recap notes today, as I don't want to duplicate the amount of work that's going on for this. So you guys might have to wait until next week for the actual official recap for this. But on Tuesday, you guys are going to see the new heavy Italian premium tank, the C45 Brisante. There'll be a Prisca skin available. There's going to be some adjustments to the M60 and the M61 stock gun for the heat shells. They won't do as they were doing more damage than they were meant to be doing. So that'll get adjusted there as well. There'll be some adjustments to a bug. When you exit the preview on a tank, it returns you correctly to the right tank. Hull patch will now display the. Is it a different color it displays?
Yeah, it'll display on the health bar a little section of how much health is going to give you over time, and then once that fills up and reaches the top, then it'll change back to being the same color as the health bar.
Excellent.
That is the design as I understand it. I have not seen it yet, so if it's different.
Disclaimer: that's the plan, but we don't know. Hull patch we just talked about, so adding the rear flames, basically you're going to be able to see incoming missiles a little bit easier, and this is on Tuesday, and a cross cluster platoon invitation, so I believe that's coming from a different server, so you come in maybe from Europe to the US or vice versa.
Yeah.
That should be a little bit easier as well. You're going to see World War II tank balance. We're looking at the at tier 10s first. It's going to be a sustained effort. We're aiming for every 2 weeks, but it might not always be that way. But we are committed to going back to some of these older tanks and making them a bit more competitive, and for you guys to enjoy them a little bit more. And I hope that you guys like it. It won't be exactly the same as Let's Talk About Tanks, as I'm aware. There will be information there, but it won't be to the same extent. That took a lot of effort to do, and we want to just make sure that we can balance these tanks rather than providing all of the information for you guys. It was good information, but it was very labor intensive, and we just want to focus on getting these things done for you guys. What else we got here? Critical hit number in the PBRS, is that in the efficiency tab and performance tab thing?
Performance tab.
Yes. So, yep, that's things that we're working on for the time being. You'll be able to.
You can see it for yourself right now, but you don't see it for other players. So we're working on getting it added for other players.
I see. Teams looking at to be able to compare tank abilities and detailed statistics, and adding back the ability to select a tank while as a spectator. That's for the competitive clan players. I know that you guys use the Fog of War system, so we'll be able to get that back. Not in time for this weekend. So I know that a few you guys have got you've got tournaments this weekend. It won't be in time for that, so I'm sorry, but it's coming back. Quickly run through a few of these other things. What's in the queue? Better display for missile capacity and reload rates. Detailed stats for missing, accounting for crew skills and equipment. Better bot spread. You guys have seen it. The bots, when they enter a kill, when they enter a funnel, they funnel in. This hopefully should spread them out a little bit. You should see them kind of taking different routes.
I think they call that a cluster flop. Cluster flop, when they flop all together in a cluster.
That was brave. I appreciate it. You guys have said that you want us to have a look at matchmaking. So the team's investigating ways to look at balancing the matchmaker a little bit more based on classes to try and get those classes more balanced. Okay. What else we got here? Matchmaking tier range plays up to for World War II is coming with the next major update. Map spawn adjustments for balance, that's always ongoing, as I'm understood from the level design team. They're always looking at adjusting things, making things a little bit better. Some more commander cross mode filtering, custom games options. We talked about that briefly. You can turn True Vision on or off in World War II and Cold War. Helpful for those of you that want to do your tournaments. It's up to you now, giving you more options. And an auto balance feature. It's taking a little bit of time. Bye, Pain God. Taking a little bit of time to get right, but they are working on an auto balance feature. More details in the post-battle results screen and in the efficiency and stats page. You'll be able to see commander progress in the garage, continuing technical improvements. As Pain God said, we're looking at maybe going back to horizontal, but we'll see. The team are playing around with different ways just to make it easier for you guys to see. HUD improvements to the view cone. You guys have been asking for that. And base icons, replay and spectator improvements to the HUD, and various. You guys have provided a lot of feedback on the HUD, so I'm excited to see exactly where that goes. And of course, we're going to get more maps. Do we have a teaser, perhaps, where the new maps, where the next batch of revamped maps are going?
The next one that goes into random battles will be once we all agree that formerly known as Scorpion Pass will come out of custom games going to random battles, and then the next batch will be at our next update, which like I said, they're about 8 weeks apart, so you can guess it's probably end of September, right?
There we go. Just getting as well from Mr. SPG in the background. On the M60 shells issue, players will be refunded in the silver for the difference between the old layout and more. So that's really good. You guys will get compensation for that as well. we're nearly at the end of the list here. Like I said, keep an eye out next week for to see this in more detail. Whereabouts am I up to here? Mercenary contracts are coming back, definitely. We've spoken about that for a long time now. Pain God mentioned that the next is it earn up sort of thing in lieu of there not being contracts. It's going to be the Plaguebringer. It's going to be more custom games capabilities, like being able to play with cross-era tanks. So that just gives you guys just a choice to do something crazy in custom games. I know what you guys are like. So yeah, more choices for you guys to do what you like in custom games. Happy days.
I want to see a Chaffee swarm against the mouse.
I want to see it too. In fact,
how many Chaffies does it take to take down a mouse?
I want to know. What else have we got here? The team is, we were aware of feedback on artillery. It's been going on forever. There is artillery 2.0 discussions going on. We can't go into a lot of depth on that right now because it's just discussions at this point in time. But like we said back in our end of the year message, we will look at artillery. I'm sorry it's taken a little bit longer than that we would like to start having those discussions, but they are going on. And now that we have this quality of life page going onto the website, you guys will be able to see where we are with that as well. So more transparency. Happy days. And clan stats in the portal. So on the website, we're looking at ways of letting you guys see how good you are compared to the other clans. So just a little bit for clans. I'm sure we'll see more. I really keep wanting to push for more things for you guys on clans. So when I get back from my vacation, I will chase up some more ideas for you guys. In the meantime, just send me all of your clan ideas. Send them over on Discord or on the forums or anything, and I'll get back to you on that. Finally, we're looking at, and this is part of the wish list. We got to wrap this up real quick. We're looking at medals and ribbons for commanders. I believe that'll maybe be a visual thing. So I'm sure you guys can read between the lines with that. A World War II specific HUD. And finally, competitive ranked play thing. And we will stay in touch with you guys on that. And that's everything, right, Pain God?
There's more. You'll see more. You'll see more on the list when it gets posted next week. It was too much to talk through in this.
Okay.
It was just giving you the highlights.
I hope you guys have enjoyed the highlights. I think that's all we have time for today. We've been here for a lot longer than normal because of the delay, but I hope you guys have enjoyed us being able to talk about the quality of life improvements that we've got planned coming for the future. I will be back from my vacation on Monday, the 12th of July. There will be no streams planned during that time, so I'll miss you guys. You won't.
What is Tengzor going to do then?
I don't know. What are you doing, Tengzor?
I'm sorry, I got to go. I'm 15 minutes late to another appointment already.
All right.
Take care, everyone.
All right.
Bye-bye.
We're gonna go. Bye-bye.
Have a good holiday weekend. If hopefully it is holiday weekend for you. If it's not, have a great weekend. Anyways, summertime. Get outside. Get some exercise. Enjoy yourself. See you on the battlefield, everyone.
Happy 4th, everyone.
Take care.